counting in. All right, it says it's live.
Right.
What is your name?
My name is Nate Bauer. I'm a communications person here at IARC. I'm also the director of the University of Alaska Press. And I'm here to help out with the Arctic Research Open House. We have a lot of folks in town and on campus for a bunch of different reasons, but it's National Lab Day this week, and we have a bunch of bigwig VIP people from the research community around the United States and around the world, and there's an open house today from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. It's a chance for people who don't spend a lot of time on West Ridge and don't spend a lot of time at places like the International Arctic Research Center to come and check it out. And we have posters up from different research projects and different research faculty and students. And so it's available for everybody in the Fairbanks community, in the UAF community, and in the research community across the United States to come and see what we have going on here.
And it's a beautiful day to show off just the architecture here in IARC itself. And
Absolutely.
West Ridge is lovely out there. So scientists are usually so reserved as part of their job. How do they get so excited and to really show off what they do? Scientists don't really like to show off.
Well, I don't know if that's a universal. It's not a job requirement to be reserved. I actually think that a lot of researchers here are thrilled to have the opportunity to talk about their research and their projects, and that's really, I think if I was going to make a generality about researchers, is that they do get excited about their topics of interest, and so this is a chance for people to come and interact with them on that kind of basis.
So one little question opens up that whole dam of what they've got going on in their mind and just pours out in the conversation.
That can happen. I think that should be a challenge, I think, to any visitors, is to come up with that one question to just open the floodgates.
I know you've got a lot. I'm going to try to visit some other labs. Just what is some of the stuff that happens here in the International Arctic Research Center?
Yeah, well, it's so diverse that it's hard to really put an umbrella on it. But I would say northern research, climate change research. We have a lot of things here in Alaska and in the Arctic that aren't easily studied elsewhere in the world. Things like permafrost and sea ice and thermokarst, and we live in the middle of the biggest boreal forest in the world, and so those are unique elements of things that we might take for granted, but people come from all over the world to study, and so IARC, International Arctic Research Center, is kind of a forum for those kind of scientists who come from everywhere to get together and collaborate on interdisciplinary projects and Arctic research and climate change research in general.
And one of the things that I've heard so much over the past few years is what happens in the Arctic doesn't stay in the Arctic. The research that's happening here is so important for sustainability, for resilience, things down in hurricane-struck areas, volcanic areas, things like that.
Yeah, well, I think one thing that you're going to find, or one thing that I've found from talking to a lot of scientists, is they're reluctant to make any big claims. But one of the big claims I think that seems applicable around the world, and especially recently, is that we have more extreme weather events, and a lot of those extreme weather events have their roots and origins in the Arctic and in the rapidly changing climate and conditions in this part of the world. And so I think that we do have a lot of researchers here that are studying not just those effects, but also those origins and where that kind of variability comes from.
The thing that I've sort of found is that you can talk to individual scientists about the research, and then you get to put the pieces together in your mind about how those things might influence each other, and you create that big picture for yourself.
Absolutely, and that's also some of that piecing together and synthesis is what they call it in Arctic science. Some of that is actually happening here. So we definitely encourage decision makers and the public to make some of those judgments and understandings on their own, piece the puzzle pieces together, but it's also helpful to have scientists from different related fields, but also disparate fields, come together and perform some of that synthesis too. So that's definitely something that people can learn about from the science that's going on here.
And we'll be talking about that today during the open house.
Absolutely.
Meet some policymakers, some researchers, and really get an idea for the future of energy research and Arctic research in our planet.
100%.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah.